Welcome to the podcast dedicated to investigating whether or not hackers are worthy of a spot in the Hacker Hall of Fame. I'm your host, Detective Fenburn, and this is Making Hackstory. I know that last episode we had some technical difficulties, but that's been resolved. And Moose, in fact, did not make it into the Hacker Hall of Fame. Now, as always, here's a word from our sponsors. Don't leave your business and your data exposed to hackers, or people like Moose will come after you. Secure your company from security risks by making the shift to Windows 10 Pro on a modern Lenovo device powered by the Intel vPro platform today. Seriously, make the shift. It's worth it. I want to formally welcome all of you listeners back to Making Hackstory. Today we're sitting down with Jayda, a.k.a. Morpheus, a.k.a. the narcoleptic hacker who couldn't hang with the big league, so she ended up with the League of Chaos. So, Jayda, I've turned down all of your colleagues. What makes you think you're different? Why should you qualify for the Hacker Hall of Fame?
Well, first of all, let's clear the air. I'm not a narcoleptic. I fell asleep one time during that hack. The narcolepsy bit is seriously just a misconception.
Well, then why the name Morpheus? He's literally the Greek god of sleep.
Because I worked in government before I fell asleep on one job, and that was the name I got branded with. That wasn't my choice. Seriously, one time and suddenly your career's awash? I graduated from MIT. I was the youngest government recruit ever. You try a 6-day hackathon with no sleep, living off energy drinks. You think you won't crash? Really?
All right. Calm down. I get it. You're not a narcoleptic. It's just one of those rumors. Even though this email from the White House clearly states that you were
Where did you
tested
get
by doctors.
That's confidential.
An official diagnosis.
I'm a professional, and you better get that right, Fenburn. And speaking of professional, you asked me here for an interview, not to rehash online gossip.
Right. Well, then. We'll get on with it. So, if you're such a professional, how did you end up with the League of Chaos, then?
After my dismissal, I wanted to get even. And I wanted to prove that a fluke shouldn't define my abilities. But my reputation, well, suffered. I met Keith online, and he told me they were forming some kind of league. Some group set on pulling off a hack so big it put us on the map. And I figured, why not? I could use that to get my name back where it belongs. In elite circles who recognize talent.
And that's why you decided to target the Akron DMV? To get back at the government that kicked you out into the cold?
That and all the user data. I could have shown them how vulnerable they were. That they needed me to protect them. I was so close to getting what I deserved. Until Keith, that is. God, all I needed was one more minute and I would have had it. But Keith spilled his milk all over my ThinkPad.
And so you lost your hack and your laptop?
No, thank goodness. I have a ThinkPad and they're spill resistant and apparently Keith proof.
Lucky break. But back to the real questions. How did you go from attacking a DMV to attacking Pizza Palace? Did you really think taking down a pizza chain would get you back in those elite hacking circles?
Of course not. Total Derek idea. I tried telling them to hit it where it hurts, to go after government. I have insider data. I know that there's a good chance that a bunch of those sectors will be running Windows 7 on an outdated machine, and that means no Intel vPro platform, and data ripe for the taking. Of course, that won't be true of all government entities, but if we were careful, I knew we could find the right target.
All right, well, what happened next?
You know what happened. The pizza chain did us dirty. A pizza with no cheese. You don't just make that kind of mistake. That was an attack, an act of war. They were begging us to hack them, and we had to retaliate. I mean, come on, it's obvious. A pizza chain of that size, they would have plenty of user data. And money, of course. A nice check when you're no longer sitting on salary doesn't hurt either. Not to mention I've worked for the government. They have to eat like everyone else. And no one likes pizza more than police departments. Firemen, the list goes on. And the Tri-City Police Department? Well, let's just say I have good intel that they're, let's say, a frequent customer. And if I could get into Pizza Palace, I could use their channels to gain access to the Tri-City PD. And who knows what I could access from there. I can only imagine that wealth of data. And it would finally give me my chance to show all those government hacks exactly who I am. To make a name for myself and prove I'm too dangerous not to have on their payroll.
But you didn't get the chance to make that hack, did you? Because they made the shift, updated their devices, filling their locations with modern Lenovo devices powered by the Intel vPro platform and running Windows 10 Pro. I mean, Jayda, a professional like you should know all the security offerings Windows 10 Pro has to offer. You, of all people, should know that Windows 10 Pro has built-in defenses against modern security threats with always up-to-date protection for your information. And with a business-grade Lenovo device, companies can easily safeguard their businesses from ever-evolving malware and cybercrime threats. In fact, Windows 10 Pro reduces security issues and the time to resolve them by 33%.
That's right. When I went in to initiate the attack, it simply didn't work. The code failed. The backdoor we had open was no longer a backdoor. It was bricked up, if you will. Windows 10 Pro is built from the ground up with root-level malware protection, meaning half of our attacks were DOA. Plus, Windows 10 Pro incorporates advanced multi-factor authorization, so we couldn't spoof the user IDs. And with Bitlocker in place, there was no way we were getting access to their data. Plus, with Windows 10 Pro, you get Windows Defender antivirus malware protection, which keeps users safe from viruses, spyware, and other malicious software attacks. And if that wasn't enough, when you pair that with a modern Lenovo device's built-in data encryption and automatic security updates, that can wipe data remotely on demand. We never stood a chance. Besides, working with this team, you know what they say. The more programmers on a project, the longer it takes.
Really, what you're saying is that with Windows 10 Pro in place, everything you had prepared to use in an attack to access their systems became totally and completely useless. I mean, why wouldn't companies make the shift? On top of all those great Windows 10 Pro security features, you get tons of other benefits, like 3 times longer battery life than older Windows devices. And with Lenovo, you get RapidCharge technology that gets you fully charged in no time. And of course, when you make the shift to Windows 10 Pro, you see up to 28% faster startup time than when running Windows 7. Plus, you get useful features like Windows Ink, which can allow you to easily capture and share ideas. You get Cortana, that useful personal digital assistance that can help to make sure nothing slips through the cracks. And of course, you can't forget Windows AutoPilot, which enables the quick and easy setup of new business-ready PCs, which makes Lenovo plus Windows 10 Pro a no-brainer for everyone from small and medium-sized businesses up to global corporations.
Well, your initial statement was a bit harsh. But yes, you could say that. And yes, all of those features do seem to make it a no-brainer. As to why someone would make the shift, I mean.
That's what I thought. Now, before I continue my investigation, we'll take a short break. Attention all shelter-seeking adults. Pleasant woman, a Mrs. Johnson, is renting out her basement. Included, a private entrance, bathroom, and plenty of space. Currently being used as an evil hacking lair, but can be converted into a studio apartment. Basement is located in central Tri-City area.
Wow, that's cold. Derek's mom is renting out the basement? Didn't see that one coming.
Well, you didn't see Pizza Palace making a shift to Windows 10 Pro either. And look how that turned out. Besides, isn't it time the overlord grew up and got a real job? Maybe if he paid rent once in a while, she wouldn't have to rent it out. But the basement arrangement is not the point here. The point is that you failed at working in government, at the Akron attack, and at hacking Pizza Palace. What's next? You're going to tell me that the Thai Bangkok attack was a success?
No, I'm not. It wasn't a success. We failed there too. because they also made the shift. And like I said before, the added security of Windows 10 Pro when you compare it to Windows 7, those vulnerabilities just aren't there. Remote access to the data is just too difficult. Plus, when you combine all the built-in security measures of the Windows 10 Pro OS, especially on a modern Lenovo device powered by the Intel vPro platform, there was just nothing we could do.
So you didn't seize any data, undermine any corporations, disrupt any form of business, or successfully order takeout. What did you do exactly?
Well, after all that, I decided it was time for a change in scenery. I'm giving office life a try now. Took a job in finance. Don't worry, though. They call me Morpheus for a reason. I know how to sleep. I lie in wait. It'll only be a matter of time before I find someone who didn't make the shift. And then, their data is mine. And they'll have the entire League of Chaos to answer to.
My, isn't that a bit of heavy-handed foreshadowing on your part? So, what's my ruling on Jayda, the professional sleeper? The government hacker who simply couldn't stay awake long enough to finish the job, and most recently foiled by the likes of Lenovo, Microsoft, and Intel? Hack, not hacker. No spot in the Hall of Fame this time, Jayda. And now, a word from our sponsors. Making Hackstery is brought to you by Intel, Microsoft, and Lenovo. Modern Lenovo devices, outfitted with ThinkShield, powered by the Intel vPro platform, and running Microsoft Windows 10 Pro, help to defend your company from security threats by offering built-in protection straight out of the box. To learn more about making the shift to Windows 10 Pro on a modern Lenovo device powered by Intel, please visit
your Lenovo partner's website.
I'm Detective Fenburn, and this is Making Hackstery. See you next time.